Stacey, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Mully and Haugh. I'm doing well. I love a blast, so
Are
we're
you
about to have one.
Are you now? You're in Detroit. Are you going to visit the Motown Museum? That's always a fun thing to do.
I'm not sure I'll have time. Everything's closed down on Thanksgiving. It's the most interesting trip, actually, fellas, because you do this game, right? And the Packers and Lions. I'm stuck in the NFC North. The Packers and Lions, they're the two most, faced off teams on Thanksgiving Day. And if it's the Bears, I'm trying to find the beat. Like, I hung out with the beat one year on Thanksgiving, and we had a little too many glasses of milk, and it was really a rough trip for me. But fortunately, it's the Packers. Their beat is great, but it's always a fun game. Everything closes down, though, on Thanksgiving, as you guys know. Yeah. So it's kind of a quiet trip, which I like.
You know, Stacey, that game has implications for the Bears, obviously. And I just wondered how do you look at that in terms of the NFC North race? Lions win, they get back in it. What does it do to the Packers? And what, by virtue, the opposite? What happens if the Packers find a way to beat Detroit?
Yeah, David, by the way, it was so great to see you at Soldier Field on the weekend.
Yes, it was.
This is a really fascinating division. You have the Bears at 8-3. You have the Packers at 7-3-1. Remember that tie they had?
Yeah.
And then Detroit is sitting there at 7-4. They are just neck and neck. And this game is pivotal in this race. And if you look at the Packers, they're basically playing the division for the remainder of the season. So this is critical for the Detroit Lions. I think there's more on the line for them than the Packers, just in terms of they obviously lost in week 1 to Green Bay at Lambeau. So there's a little bit of a revenge factor for them. But the way that this Packers defense is playing, they are lights out, sizzling hot defensively. And so the division is always good, but it's as good as I can remember. Even last year, I mean, they were neck and neck, these two teams, right down to the finish. And then you have the Bears sitting at the top of it all, getting ready to face the Eagles. Like this game on Sunday, I cannot wait to watch the Eagles and the Eagles and the Bears play on Sunday.
That's Friday. That's the Black Friday game.
Friday. It's Black Friday. See, I'm all messed up.
And for a woman like yourself, Stacey, who spends a lot of time overseas, it's globally available for free. They're not charging on Amazon Prime. Huge. It
is, and I think that's why I was like, I can't wait to watch it, because I'll be having my Thanksgiving dinner on Friday because I work all week. And I'm also like, I've been on the phone this morning with some Eagles people, and the respect they have for the Chicago Bears is awesome. Like, if the Eagles lose this game on Friday, all hell will break loose in Philadelphia. I'm telling you.
Right.
Like, they cannot afford to lose this game because of the way they played, because of the 21-point lead they blew against Dallas. And it's another NFC opponent, but Chicago now has the respect of this league. I'll tell you that right now.
It's really interesting because we've talked about that game, and we have, Olin Kreutz said that it should be pay-per-view, seeing Vic Fangio and Ben Johnson kind of calling plays against each other, going after it. I love that idea. I love, we know how good Vic is and how he tries to eliminate all the explosives. And we know that Ben Johnson has brought explosive plays to Chicago. It is just going to be fascinating to see how that breaks down. And, I think it applies a little bit to the game you're covering, because Detroit is 0-3 against the defenses that limit you to 21 points, one being the Packers, one being the Eagles. So it's pretty interesting to think about.
It is interesting, and you're right. I mean, I could sit and watch a game and just have a video camera on Vic Fangio in the booth, because and when he's up in the press box and he's doing his deal, like he's really interesting. You guys know him. I mean, he was obviously here in Chicago and did very well here. But what Ben is doing is it's interesting. I'll go to my conversation with some Eagles folks this morning. The way they kind of see these Bears, Caleb is so good on the move and really evading sacks. I mean, that's what he's doing. His numbers aren't great. I mean, he is the second worst in terms of uncatchable passes in the NFL. 23% of his passes are uncatchable this season, and that's second to J.J. McCarthy. But what I think, and these conversations, like after the first read, where is Caleb? He's running. And the Eagles know that. But their offensive line works with such great synergy, and that is a word that was used this morning with me. They run the ball to control the game, sneaky time of possession. So what Caleb is doing, you guys, is, if you watch the totality, and they're sixth in total yards offensively. So, I mean, the Chicago Bears, they haven't finished top 5 in total offense since 1977. Think about that. Walter Payton won the AP NFL Most Valuable Player that year. He was the Offensive Player of the Year. He won the rushing and scrimmage titles that year. That's how long it's been since the Bears have been this good offensively, okay? But what Caleb is doing, he's doing exactly what Ben is asking him to do. So when your head coach says to your point guard, I need you to go and I need you to get the ball to Shaq, he's going to dunk it. And I need us defensively to just force them to shoot threes. Like the Bears are doing exactly what Ben Johnson is asking them to do, and it starts with Caleb offensively. He's handing the ball off. He's executing the offense. The accuracy, is it there? I mean, he's 59% completion percentage. It's not been great, but he's doing what Ben is asking him to do. He's taking the coaching. What do we say every week? He's taking the coaching and he's applying it, and the Bears are 8-3. And they are very, very, very highly regarded around the league right now. I'm going to tell you, the conversations I'm having, Ben has the league on alert, and it's palpable around the NFL.
And defensively, they're taking the football away. And I think that's one of the things that is big surprise about Dennis Allen's unit is their ability to do that better than any other team in the NFL. And you look at one of the big reasons why Nan Wright had a interception of the season, the one-handed grab. You saw it, Stacey. You talked to him afterward. His story is very inspiring. I just wondered what you thought in dealing with him directly after the game, and also just the job he has done in getting his 5 interceptions that lead the league.
Yeah, David, I was a fan of him when back at training camp. I watched him in practice going out to Hallis and doing those preseason games day after day, stepping out there when Jalen Johnson's injured, and he's just grinding. He's a grinder, and he waited for his opportunity. His story is phenomenal. So the way postgame works for me is from a national perspective, you have ESPN there, you have NFL Network, you have Sirius Radio, and of course you have the broadcast. In this case, it was CBS. So we put in requests in the fourth quarter, just to simply explain it, for, our top 2 or 3 players that we'd like postgame based upon who wins the game. So for the Bears, you always ask for the quarterback. So number 1 is Caleb Williams. And my first pick, though, because you're never going to get the quarterback because they go to the broadcast, it was Nan. Because of his story, obviously the interceptions back-to-back weeks. When I saw him intercept the Vikings in the previous week and nearly come to tears, I came to tears. I'm a very emotional person. I'm a very, you guys know me. I feel very deeply for people, especially when it comes to athletes. And when I saw him almost come to tears, and then to learn that he had lost his junior college coach.
Yeah, that was something.
And then the loss that he's gone through in his life, at a young age. I lost my brother, and I still haven't recovered. Right. So when you get a player like that who has a one-handed grab to kick off this thing at Soldier Field, the way he did it, I saw a tweet from Trey Wingo, that has to be the best interception of the year.
Right.
Right. So, David, to answer your question, I'm passionate about it right now. Doing that interview meant everything to me because this guy deserves a platform. He deserves to have his story told. And if I can do that in 2 minutes, it's not about me. It's about him. It's about his journey. And if 2 minutes gives him the spotlight, I am there for it. And he was my number one request for that very reason. This young man deserves absolute glory for everything he's given this team and everything he's accomplished in his now, 5 years in the NFL. To finally have his name called, he deserves it.
Well, it's great stuff. I think that there are some of these stories that have kind of emerged because the Bears have so many injuries. There have been, the linebacker core, the two guys that wound up with as many tackles in back-to-back games since Urlacher and Lance Briggs back in the day. The idea that you are kind of piecemealing together a defense, 6 starters out at one point in that game, and you win the game, and then everyone's kind of, they played a backup quarterback. There's always this kind of but, and now you have an opponent that if you could actually beat them, it would speak volume. And listen, the Eagles we know they're a great team. They're not having a great year. And between the two teams, there's been a lot of one-score games. I think it's 16 between the two teams. It's crazy the amount of one-score games. So there's, even though the Bears are getting 7 points, they're a 7-point dog. I think there's a lot of reasons to kind of feel better about this game than a lot of people might.
I agree, Mully. So I would say this about playing at Philadelphia. This is probably, I would rank it in my top 3 of the most vile places to play in the NFL.
Vile is a great word.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah, let's use that word all day. That should be our trigger word, vile, because these Eagles fans are insane, and I love it. The Raiders fans are also insane. Buffalo, they get really drunk. So I once watched a young man. I was walking to the press box in Buffalo many years ago, and he was being escorted out at about 12:30, so it's a 1 o'clock kick, and he had, urinated down his leg. Oh. So before the game started, I love Buffalo. I just love it. But these Eagles now, this is a unique opportunity for the Chicago Bears, because if they go in and win this game, they've already got the league, I said before, on high alert. So defensively, what's really interesting, I think, about the Bears, and you mentioned the takeaways, guys, 24, right? They've got 16 picks, fired 5, Wright 5, Edmonds 4, who's on IR. They're going to get these guys back healthy now for the playoffs, right? I have a strong feeling that the Bears will be at 100% physically, defensively when the playoffs hit. 100% is a stretch, but the way the Eagles see this Bears team defensively, before the season started, what were we talking about? Why didn't Ryan Poles get more pass rushers, whatever? The way they're seen around the league, they're physical, they're tough, they're run stoppers. So I'm so impressed, and I'm not trying to be dramatic here, by the coaching. Ben and Dennis have these guys. It's almost like a fine psychotic balance between the players, it's like players coaching, the player coach thing, and then dictating. Ben, when you watch Ben walk off a field, and I couldn't wait to talk about this today, he is I'm standing right in his beeline to the tunnel when they win. He sees nothing.
He sees nothing. You're right.
I can't explain it, David. Go on.
Well, Stacey, also, I was going to ask you about this. On the sidelines, do you notice that he is so often all by himself? There's nobody that gets close to him. And there's a distance that you have to keep because Ben Johnson's intensity is too hot to get any closer.
Yes. David, you're so spot on. Like, this guy is a maniac. Ben Johnson is a maniac, man. Like, in the best way. I want to play for him. I want to play for him. He's that locked in. He's that dialed in, but so is Dennis. Mm-hmm. I just love how Dennis Allen has coached these guys up. I mean, they were having a blast. I know obviously they've given up some passing touchdowns this season. I think 22 of them. And I wouldn't even call them bend, don't break. Like they are just locked into the coaching. And I felt it back in the preseason, but man, to do what they're doing with the injuries they've had defensively, Dennis Allen is a star. I couldn't be more impressed. I couldn't be more excited for the Bears just fan base, because even if they lose, when you lose something, you want to make sure that you did it the very best you could in order to have a chance. And that's the only time you can accept losing. Like, either the other team was that much better or you gave everything you had in that moment, because I've lost things before and I've been on bad teams and you just knew, like, well, we sucked. Like, I don't want to ever be on this team again. But if you're on a great team and you lose because you gave everything you had and, like, you can be proud of what you gave, you're okay. And I feel like that's the Chicago Bears right now, and they're winning. So that's a positive.
Yeah, I mean, listen, this is going to be a heck of a weekend. I just think that we're going to get a lot more clarity about everything that's going on. It is amazing to me that right now the Detroit Lions are out of the playoffs. There were, obviously, we're going to see a game with Kansas City and the Cowboys and Dallas that both teams have to win. I think there's a lot of that going around right now. We're entering this portion of the schedule where there are certain teams that are very desperate and other teams that have done maybe more than people imagine. So it'll be fascinating to see how this breaks down. I still don't know. I think I know that the Rams are really good and the quarterback coach connection there is maybe the best out there. But I don't feel like I know every team yet. I don't feel like it's been determined yet who's really that good and who's kind of an also-ran.
I couldn't agree more, Mully, honestly. I look at this league, and I've said this before this season with you guys, like, it's truly the most parity, and I hate that word. I think it's tossed around quite a bit, but it's truly the most parity I've seen. The Rams are outstanding on both sides of the football. They're 9-2. That division is just like the North. I mean, you have the Rams at 9-2, the Seahawks at 8-3, and San Francisco at 8-4. Like, this thing is insane this season. But this game on Thursday that I'll be at is going to be pivotal in this race. I think it's going to, pump your chest up if you're in this division, because when you win a game in this division, you're feeling pretty damn good about yourself. But I this is really an exciting time for the Chicago Bears, for their fan base. What Caleb is doing is, to me, so impressive because of he's taking the coaching. I just go back to, it goes back to fundamentals sometimes. And I think he's doing some of the fundamental things really well. And when your quarterback play, it has conviction. I remember a conversation I had last week with DeAndre Swift getting ready for that game. And I said, where has Caleb grown the most? And he talked to me about the process. He said that Ben is constantly on him on the details. Constantly. And if there's a detail missed, Ben's on him. Like, nothing, no stone goes unturned with Caleb. And you can see it in his processing. And by the way, like, whatever his numbers are, the Eagles still think he's pretty accurate. It's just that he's processing so much this year because he's getting all this coaching. And, it's pretty cool, too, by the way, he's facing Jalen Hurts. There's a Lincoln Riley connection somewhere in the middle of all this with these two sort of mobile quarterbacks. it's just going to be a great storyline on Friday.
Stacey, thank you. Great stuff. Have a great weekend. We wish you the best for Thanksgiving.
Yep. Thanks so much, Stacey.
Yeah, I hope you guys have a blessed Thanksgiving and enjoy the holiday with your families.
You too.
Thanks so much.